would want you to grow up.
He's pulling down his pants. Put up your pants, my man.
Touchdown!
Is this the tiger?
And Fernando Tatis Jr., a grand slam!
I want
Iguodala. It's funny to hear a female talk about routes. Like,
pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man.
Welcome to From the Backseat, hosted by Clark and Ethan.
it's funny.
Hello and welcome to From the Backseat. I am your host, Ethan, and it is February 28th, 2023. There you go, Clark. There's the date. So I am joined today by my co-host.
What up, guys? It's Clark. You know, again, the emphasis, the person who drives the date being read onto the show. The fact that we went so long without the date being said, criminal. But we're back. We're back. That's all that matters.
Yeah, we're back. From the Backseat is back, and we are working through some of the bumps. We are back in off-season mode, and weirdly enough, I feel like Clark and I do better in like off-season mode than we did during in-season stuff.
Yeah, some people only shine when the lights are on. We do our best when absolutely nobody's watching, and the expectations could not be lower. When those
I think it's just
are on the floor, watch out.
I think it's just because all of our segments drive themselves for just like stupid off-season conversations. Because that's kind of the idea behind the show. And like during the season, we say takes and stuff, but like it seems smart because we're right all the time. But it's more fun during the off season when we're just right before it happens.
The off season, I feel like, allows for us to go just galaxy brain mode. Just have takes that during the season would be laughed upon immediately because they can be disproven within a matter of weeks. But in the off season, there's months before anything happens, and people can forget. If you're wrong, no one knows, and that's the beauty of sports media.
Oh, that is the beauty of it. I mean, we'll keep talking about it, but we got to start off with maybe the biggest news of the week, besides for Derek Carr getting a little bit of a touring around at the combine, which is Manny Machado is nailed in as a Padre for the next 11 seasons.
San Diego Padre, man.
Locked in the next 11 seasons. I mean, it'll be a question if he actually plays all 11. I don't know if he actually will,
he'll come
but
close. I don't know if he'll play in his year 42 season when he's 42
yeah,
years
I mean,
old,
that'll be tough, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, look, I guess I'll start us off on it. Again, I don't know how many times I've said this over the past year and a half, but thank you, Peter Seidler, for becoming the owner of which I've always begged for to own one of my favorite sports teams. He has continued to just throw cash at these star players and has proven once again that San Diego is in fact not really a small market, and that the idea of small market teams is just a fictional non-reality that owners sell teams and their fans. So they don't actually have to spend money, and they can reap the rewards of these margins that they create for themselves. However, Manny Machado, Padre for life, $350 million over the next 11 years. He won't wear another uniform besides what he's got on right now. And that's all you could ever ask for. I mean, you've gotten everything this offseason as a Padres fan in terms of a wish list if you had one. It's a beautiful sight. I can't wait for 20 years down the road when they put up a statue next to Tony Gwynn and Trevor Hoffman, and it's Manny Machado. It is going to be so great. He's like the number of times, the number of opportunities he has over his next 11 years to leave his mark on the franchise is pretty remarkable. He'll be the all-time franchise leader in home runs, at least for a brief time. He's only 56 off the pace of Nate Colbert. He's going to be probably a 3,000 hit guy at this point, which is an immediate ticket to the Hall of Fame. And more than likely with the home run pace that he's on, he's going to be a 500 home run guy. So essentially he's going to go down, aside from, maybe some on base and batting average, which obviously Tony Gwynn owns. He's going to go down as probably the best statistical Padre of all time. And he's probably going to be the fourth dude to wear the Padres cap when he goes into the Hall of Fame. And I think that's something everyone in San Diego should be extremely happy about. I think every lifelong Padre fan, it's a very cool moment to kind of step back and realize that's where you're at. So for Manny to be here the rest of his career is a really awesome thing. And it's just something I'm really looking forward to watching over the next 11 years.
I can't believe we'd sign a guy who doesn't hustle. I mean, he doesn't
dude.
hustle.
Oh, no, he doesn't hustle
spikes
every ball out. Oh my
Yeah.
God, dude. Wait, he might hit 40 home runs in a year. He might finish in the top 3 MVP voting every year, But damn it, he didn't hustle out that stupid ground ball against Arizona in freaking mid-May. God, we just can't have that.
It's called
don't need to
loser
hustle, dude.
mentality.
It's such
That's why
Iowa.
San Diego hasn't won a championship, because we get a bunch of losers who don't hustle.
Don't hustle. Oh no, he didn't run out that ball. Literally, if anyone ever says anything to Manny Machado in terms of general hustle, I would just, I don't even know. It's just, there should be no reason to complain about Manny Machado anymore. He's the backbone of this team.
No, I mean, unless if you're a Dodgers fan, because he's about to break your heart over and over
That
again.
was probably the second best part of the Discord from everything that led up to the extension is Mets and Dodgers fans became somehow convinced that, oh, he's going to come to us. Like, this is going to happen. And then
were Dodger fans acting like they were getting Manny Machado?
There's like multiple LA media.
Oh, really?
Yes, LA Times and stuff. Like Dodgers Report had written articles with apparently sources, which when you put the word sources, it really just means you can say anything. And ultimately, they were like, oh, Machado to the Dodgers. There's a link. There's a link. There never was, because why would he go back there? It was never going to happen. And then Mets fans cry because that's what Mets fans do best. And it was just piece of resistance, as the French would say. And that's what we got.
Yeah, somebody who doesn't hustle. Clark, I can't believe you're putting your stamp of approval on someone who doesn't hustle.
Kids, I'll tell you this right now. If you're really good like Manny is, you don't need to hustle every play. No one cares.
I have another criticism. Why doesn't he also pitch? Shohei Ohtani pitches. And
We're not. That's great that you bring him up, because I promise you, people after this contract was signed, so there's no, well, they can't sign Ohtani, they can't sign Soto. Watch it happen. Watch it happen.
So I'll say this: I do not think they signed both. I
mean, they probably won't sign both, but you can't sit here and tell me now this. They can't say, they probably won't sign both. The way that Machado's contract is structured, theoretically, yes, there is a way, but they're going to get one of the two. Either Soto will be extended, or I think they're going to reel in Ohtani, which would then allow them to let Soto walk.
So, yeah. So my theory right now is that they go after Ohtani next offseason and try to have one season of Ohtani, Soto, and Machado, and Tatis, and all those guys. And then they let Soto walk after the year. Because, I mean, even if we want to talk about luxury tax and money-wise, I mean, if they signed both Ohtani and Soto, then they would have the highest payroll in the league.
Oh, yeah. But that'd be awesome.
I mean,
tell me that
it would
cool.
be awesome, but
it'd be great.
It would be great. But then, like, at some point, and this. Oh,
no. Ethan's Wi-Fi has gone potato mode. Not good. Might cut out again. We might have a one-person show briefly. Like we did last time. Are you there, Ethan?
Yeah. So for years. Can you hear me?
No, you're like breaking up every 5 seconds.
Oh, you can't hear. Okay, I can go.
Get that Wi-Fi upgraded. You should have freaking requested that after they freaking caved your roof in. I guess that wouldn't be Xfinity's problem. They would just tell you to do something else. Something tells me he's probably going to have to reload back in here. Great first show back after 2 weeks off. This is what the From the Backseat brand brings to you. It's absolute dysfunction at all times. He's just frozen. I hope you guys are enjoying kind of his weird looking face right now. But anyway, I'll just talk about my dream world of signing both Soto and Ohtani. I, unlike Ethan, think it's very possible. Again, unbiased journalist here. Soto, you can make the extension happen now. You can structure the contract to where it allows for Ohtani to be signed later when the offseason comes up next year. See, look, this is, you know what? People often ask, what's the difference between Clark and Ethan as a person who comes on the live air? I never have these Wi-Fi issues. This is a stability. This is a room of stability is what I provide every single week. By every single week, I mean every other week, because that's pretty much how we do it at this point. So he's gone. I don't know when he's going to be back. Check my phone right now, see what's going down. But again, this is something I've gotten used to, just the one-man show. You know, the greatest know how to respond, and that's what I do. So let me just get a text going to him real quick, to the live audience. My apologies. There's probably 3 of you. Detrimental. This cheapens the brand. Well, you can't really cheapen it much more than it already is, but what are you going to do? So yeah, Oh, look, he's back. There he is.
Yeah, I'm back.
Are you going to stay in this time?
I mean, hopefully. It's also raining up here, so it might be the rain is interrupting my signal.
God forbid.
That's been happening the last couple days.
Hate to see it. Well, hopefully things get better here.
You gotta love that rain. Yeah, we'll see. The one point I was bringing up before we continued on is I was saying that it, like, as a Padres fan, it kind of feels dirty that the Padres are spending this much money, because for years I used to just hit the Dodgers on that they were buying all their players and they were buying wins, which to an extent the Padres are doing now. So it feels like, I mean, it's good to be on the other side of it.
I know what
but
you're
there
saying.
is a
Exactly
part that
what you're
feels
saying.
like kind of feels dirty about it, of like, for years I criticized this thing and now I'm praising my team for doing it. Like, again, I'm happy that teams are doing it this way, and I'm happy the Padres are spending the money, and I think it's more of the structure of the MLB. And this is the difference between of ultimately why I like the NFL more than the MLB is, I mean, this shouldn't be allowed to happen.
Why
Like,
shouldn't it
teams
be allowed to
shouldn't
happen?
able to
What's the
wildly
problem with it?
Well, I'm saying is every team should spend the same amount of money. Like,
Dang, the
their
rain is
players
getting
right
even
before they're
hard.
about to get signed. And no, oh, is it really?
Oh, you're just cutting out.
I don't
so
know if
bad.
I'm cutting in and out.
So bad right now.
I could go turn off and on my router and see how it's doing.
You're fine now.
If it's
I don't know. Just a lot of technical difficulty.
Just let me know if you need me to
I'll let you know. Don't
turn off
worry.
and on my router. Yeah, because like, just in the NFL, every team spends money. I mean, some save money for the next year, but ultimately they'll spend. I mean, this thing in the MLB of just teams like that hold, like, I mean, wasn't it this year like the Reds spent like $0 in free, or
That
was
was
it the A's
last
that spent
offseason.
last offseason, where a team spent $0 in free agency?
Well, I do believe right now the Padres have spent, I believe, more than 17 teams combined this offseason in free agent money or extensions. So, yes,
I mean,
I agree with you. We can be on the same page on the idea that there is an issue with too many teams not spending money. That is a problem because, again,
yeah,
the biggest, we both agree on this, the biggest lie ever told to sports fans is, oh, we can't spend money. We're a small market team. That's just a lie. If you believe it, I'm so sorry. You are who MLB marketing teams crave. You are who they look for. The Oakland A's,
Well,
again, I've said this thousands of times.
to
The
be
A's
honest,
marketing team deserves $1 million raises because they've convinced fans for years that, oh, rooted in Oakland, green collar. We're this team that only drafts and develops, but we can't spend any money. And when our players get good, we'll just ship them off to Atlanta and Boston. That doesn't need to be the way it works.
For sure. I mean, and to be honest, we kind of fell into that too when we were Padres fans.
That's basically been our entire existence.
Yeah, like the mid 2010s of where they're like, no, we can't spend money. Kyle Blanks is the future. Yeah,
Whoa,
Cameron Maben, that's our future.
Yeah, okay. Remember, like, that's how sad, like, but that's like kind of like the fun part now. But like, remember when we were like in middle school, like we signed Cameron Maben to a 6-year, $38 million extension. And we thought, holy smokes, we are dishing out the cash now. Cameron Maben got suspended like 2 years later for an amphetamine charge. So things didn't really pan out there, but fun when it happened. I guess it's
like
also
something about, and that we can reminisce on this is a little bit now that we're in the off season about the Padres, is like, do you remember the years where like it felt like every year we got like one like okay role player, and then all of a sudden he was like our star? Like,
yeah,
we
that happened
randomly
every
had
year.
like what was that one guy's name? Seth Smith.
Seth Smith, who we dished off after one good, like a half a good season. We traded him off to Oakland. So
Alexi Amarista, you remember
Everett Cabrera? Great Everett Cabrera always sticks in my mind because Everett Cabrera had an all-star season at shortstop. This dude had an OPS like over 800, played great defense, 40 stolen bases, all-star. Season concludes. Turned out he was taking steroids the whole time. Came back a year later, totally sucked ass. That's just kind of the way that it worked. I mean, again,
that's just how
I think the thing that I was thinking about this the couple days after this happened is I will be envious of children in San Diego who grow up and they get to be like, oh, my favorite player is either Xander Bogaerts, Manny Machado, Joe Musgrove, Yu Darvish, Fernando Tatis. When I grew up, it was like, I can't wait to get to the ball field and watch Kevin Kuzminoff play. Kevin Kuzminoff, who freaking sucked too. Like, he had a great, like, one really good season. where he had like, I think the highest fielding percentage ever, which is like a stupid stat to even have now. But I was like, man, Kuz is out there. That dude probably had an OPS about 720. Sucked. I was stoked to show up to the ballpark and see him play.
Like another one is like Chase Headley. Like Chase Headley was good.
Chase Headley was like an objectively good Major League Baseball player, but the fact that was like our star, and the only reason we claimed him is because he finished 6th in MVP voting. Which is like, I feel like finishing 6th in MVP voting isn't really that exciting, because it's like, well, you weren't like quite good enough to be top 5, but someone threw you a courtesy vote, and that's just kind of the way that it was, and you got 6th. So
yeah,
I mean, yeah, I'm trying to like, the only real superstar that I remember that we had, and we just like decided to just not sign him, was Adrian Gonzalez. When we had Adrian Gonzalez, that was a legit all-star first baseman who, again, he might be the most egregious non-signing we ever had. This was a kid who grew up in Chula Vista, went to Eastlake High School, like drafted out of high school. We trade for him, has like 4 all-star seasons for us. He asked for a contract extension, I don't even believe, for north of $100 million, and we traded him to Boston. It was like, what are you? Like, you could not have a more homegrown player for everyone to rally around guy, and you just trade him.
What's even worse is we traded him and then got Anthony Rizzo, who is an objectively good player now, and then immediately traded him too.
Yeah, we traded Anthony Rizzo after like 20 Major League Baseball games. They're like, oh, he's not very good. We got to trade him to the Cubs for Andrew Kashner. And now Anthony Rizzo probably, he's not going to be a Hall of Famer, but he's a perennial all-star first baseman for the last, he defined basically the 2010s, helped the Cubs win a World Series. And we said, we don't want that potential. We would prefer if you gave us Andrew Kashner and punched us in the face. So.
Well, like, I mean, we both talk about this story every once in a while of like, I get where other teams' franchises are getting annoyed with Padres fans. Like, I understand where they're coming from, but I think they need to understand what we went through. Like, Clark and I probably all throughout, honestly, middle school and high school, like, we would choose to go to Padres games over movies because it was cheaper to go to Padres games than it was to go to the movie.
Yeah, you could buy really cheap tickets when the team was really bad.
Like, the team sucked, and we'd just go and, like, sit there for 3 hours and we lived relatively close to the stadium. And like, that was a preferable day. We'd just go sit there and watch horrible baseball. I mean, honestly, if I were to count down how many times I've seen the Padres win in my life, it honestly would not be that many in comparison to how many Padres games I've been to.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that always bothered me about, and I don't even want to reminisce on those teams because it's so dumb, because the teams that we're going to have for the next decade plus is just going to be unbelievable, I think. But what bothered me more, I don't think they were ever terrible. They never absolute dog shit. They were the most annoying thing. They were painfully mediocre. Like, they would never play well, but they always figured out a way to like win 76, 77 games or somewhere in that realm where they couldn't get a top.
You want to know who they are right now?
They just were like it was just bland. It was so uninspiring.
They're the Rockies.
The
Rockies are today is what the Padres were. But think about it, like, of their roster right now, like, they're relatively putting in effort, but they're not really putting in effort. Their teams are always mediocre. They're always losing. I mean, if I were to pick one team, because the Padres tried with quotations around it, because what they always bought you is, we got this prospect coming up. We got this good guy. But the issue with the Padres is they would just always trade them. It didn't matter.
Also, the issue was the prospect ended up being fucking Corey Spangenberg or Jed Jerko or Travis Jankowski, who all just sucked.
I remember
Jed. They weren't good at anything. That's one thing I hate going back. Like,
who is the guy who hit Christian Villanueva? Was it Christian Villanueva?
Christian Villanueva, who won NL Rookie of the Month in like 2016 because he hit like 16 home runs in the first month. We fucking DFA'd him like 3 months later. It was so stupid. That guy wasn't even that good. He was only like 26. Everyone was like, he had like a 3-homer game in Coors Field, who, by the way, I think half of baseball could do if you give him enough opportunities. And we just were like, we found the guy at third base. Some people were like, we got him. This is our dude. And it just turns out he was terrible.
Yeah. Man, we can move on from the past teams, but
yeah,
it's just funny to all those fans who, like, think that Padres fans are like entitled now, or that they talk too
No,
much
I'll speak on
trash,
that.
or that we're bandwagons.
No, I'll speak on this to what you're saying, though, is that if you took any other fan base who's experienced anything similar, whether that be, I'm trying to think like the Rockies or Arizona, or if you took Seattle for the years, and they constantly were that same mediocre middle of the road team that never inspired, never did anything, never really spent the money, and they decided to start doing what we are currently doing right now, you would talk the same way and you would be well within your rights. So when your team, whoever you are, whether you be a Tampa Bay fan, no matter what, when your team starts doing this, I will have no qualm with you, no beef when you freaking dance like there's no tomorrow, because you deserve to have moments like the Padres fans are experiencing right now. What the Padres are doing, what Peter Seidler's done, what AJ Preller's done is good for baseball. More of this needs to happen around the league. It'd be way more fun. It'd be way more entertaining. It'd be way more, just everything better for fans.
But see, I think that's my point ultimately, of like where I kind of feel dirty as a Padres fan, of like where I'm like, man, that the Padres can do all this. Like, it's great as a Padres fan, but what I'm saying is it's sad for the state of the league that teams just willingly let this stuff happen and just willingly let their stars go out the door. Like Boston. Boston is a big market team, and they've let now 2 MVP.
Yeah, they just gave away
candidates
Mookie
leave out
Betts
of
for
their
nothing, practically. Every single
in the
piece of that
last 5
trade.
years. They just let Xander Bogaerts go for nothing. Like, they're just
I agree.
letting
I
star talent. I mean, if you can talk about Mookie Betts all you want and that he had a down year last year, but he's still ultimately probably a top 10 player in the league, and they gave him up for nothing.
No, I mean, the Hall on its face value did have good players, but Jeter Downs is terrible. Verdugo is just okay. The other guys already had washed out from that deal. But no, I agree. Boston's let guys walk. The Yankees even have cheapened severely over the last couple of years. I mean, the fact that this was even a conversation with Aaron Judge being re-signed with them, if George Steinbrenner was around, that never even would have occurred to anyone. So
yeah, I mean, he before the season,
but still, like, there was a real beef. Like, was Aaron Judge going to leave? No. Like, with George Steinbrenner was the guy. So if he was still alive, that conversation never would have occurred. But now under new, guidance and GM-ship, like, the Yankees have cheapened. There's a lot of teams around baseball that have decided to go this route of just being cheaper. It's very stupid. Like, I think perfect example. It's the last point I'll make on it. Brian Reynolds in Pittsburgh, all-star player, 28 years old, in his prime, a guy who should demand upwards of $150 million plus on a contract, probably more than that. Ask the Pirates for that number, which the Pirates spend no money. And their immediate thing was like, no, we're just going to trade you. What does that say to Pirates fans? It says anytime someone gets good, see you, pal. We're not fucking paying that shit no matter what. It's sad.
No, it is sad. I mean, it's just a sad state of the league that, and I again, this is ultimately my point. Like, I'm happy as a Padres fans, but it's just
no, I
it's just kind of like there should be.
I get what you're saying.
Like, why do teams let this stuff occur? Like, there should be no world in which a team is, and this is going to be conceivable, and it's probably going to happen, that a team has Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, Fernando Tatis, Manny Machado, and the only one they developed out of their farm system is Fernando Tatis. Like, we're about to be talking about a super team where they acquired pretty much all the players, which is insane.
Can't wait.
I mean, yeah. Well, we'll see when it happens, if it actually does happen. Yeah, I mean, that's what it's going to come down to. I still think Shohei Ohtani is probably going to be a Dodger as much as I do. I know, but again, it kind of feels like what's going to happen.
Trying to make me sad on a Tuesday night. No need for
that.
I'm
sorry.
Don't
hey, luckily the Dodgers aren't going to be all that good this year.
We should definitely win the division. But anyway, that's here or there.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to talk about the Padres? We went on for 24 minutes.
I mean, I guess, the only thing, Joe Musgrove, ice up there, bud. I don't know how you're dropping a weight on your toe, breaking your big toe. You can have mine if you need it. That is one thing I will always say. We've progressed a lot in modern medicine. There needs to be a way. Some surgeon needs to figure out a way where an athlete gets hurt and I can give them my ACL, an ACL transplant surgery that goes seamlessly. Someone figure that out. I would give you my big toe, Joe Musgrove. I would take your broken one. You can have my fully operational one. We're not there yet, though.
You would really give up your big toe?
I'm saying like I would get his broken toe that would eventually heal.
Well, no. Oh, I see what you're saying.
And
you're not saying like you would just give up your toe because he's going to come back in like mid.
Well, no, I mean, obviously
like,
I'm not going to be like have my big toe. I can't be doing that. I need that thing. I can't just lop it off. Yeah. Big toe is crucial, man.
That makes sense. So you do like a switch, basically.
Like
so you do the rehab while he has
I
your
don't know. That even sounds gross because then I have Joe Musgrove's toe on my foot.
Yeah, it's probably disgusting.
But if it meant he got back sooner,
he's not even going to miss that much time. He's coming back like mid-April or so.
Okay, I'm just saying.
He's going to miss like 3
I'm a team
starts.
guy, Ethan. I'm always for the team, and that's a team move. Great teammate, clubhouse guy. You're looking at him. Okay.
All right, that is great. So this has been our little bit talk about the Padres. We're going to continue to talk about the Padres more. We're going to start to tail into it a little bit more and kind of tail into what ultimately we want to talk about. We got a long off season ahead. Clark and I, we will just as a programming note before we will talk about the NFL draft in a very limited sense. Because Clark and I aren't going to pretend that we're like...
Not going to pretend I know what I'm talking about with that.
Yeah, like, we can pretend, but, like, neither of us sit there and, like, watch tape all day. I mean, I have watched all 22 before, and it's not like my takeaways are any more genius than, like, JT O'Sullivan's with the QB school.
Well, here's the thing I always think. If you sit down with your day and you choose to turn on the NFL Network and you sit there and you watch the NFL Combine... Call for help. There's something better to do, I promise.
Did you know our boy Arjun went to the Combine and is watching it live?
Yeah, well, Arjun freaking sucks, so doesn't surprise.
He goes to the University of Michigan, and that's what he did for his spring break.
Dude, okay, go to Daytona Beach, Arjun. Don't be freaking going to the Combine. What, are you kidding me? That's a real thing? He did that?
Yeah, for his spring break. He like posted some tweet. He's like, all of my friends are going to like Cabo because it's his senior year. It's like all of my friends are going to Cabo or like Daytona Beach or to Europe, and I'm going to the NFL Combine.
Trying to get my laptop not to die. It's been a great technical night for us here.
It's okay. We're getting back into it. We're going to be starting our show off. So if you want hard-hitting draft analysis, Clark and I will not be doing
show up here.
We will be talking about the funny side of the Combine. Like, if we see any tweets about any funny questions coming from Combine scouts, we will definitely cover those next week because those things can be funny. We do mock drafts every single year. So before the NFL draft itself, we'll give out our mock drafts. We'll like post them on Twitter or something. We do it every year anyway, just for fun.
Got it.
Clark usually wins, to be quite honest. But
yeah, because it's called having 1,000 IQ NFL brain. I do really well. Yeah.
If you want draft stuff, do not come here. We are not gonna be huge draft people. We like the draft to a certain extent. We just like the draft for the reason of who our team is going to draft. It's not like we sit there and get super into like
if that's really you, I shouldn't say seek help. If that's you and you enjoy it, like do you? That's great, awesome, fantastic.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
you know what you should seek help for? If you're one of the people that watches the Combine and the draft for Dynasty Fantasy Football, then you need to seek help.
Fantasy football merchants, yes. Actually, the people who side tangent, the people who like do fantasy football and then dabble into the draft, that's where you get some of the worst takes.
Oh, you're talking about like with the Chris Olave stuff from fantasy.
Well, yeah, the Chris Olave, like that was really bad because everyone was. I mean, Chris Olave, fantastic athlete, tested well, had a really good RAS score, but fantasy football people were like, "Oh, his 3-cone wasn't in the 96th percentile," and deemed him bad, and then he ended up being probably the second best rookie wide receiver from last year. And then what was it? I already saw like one compare. Who's the TCU wide receiver that's coming out?
Oh, Quentin Johnson.
It's a Quentin Johnson. Someone tried to say that Quentin Johnson's floor is T. Higgins and his ceiling's DK Metcalf.
Oh, I did see this. Yeah.
That, first off, doesn't make any sense because of the player profile, like not even remotely similar players.
Also, I would almost argue T. Higgins is better than DK Metcalf.
And that is the second problem. T. Higgins is better than DK Metcalf in my mind.
I don't know if they're necessarily better, but I think they're very comparable players from stats. Like,
well, I think
like usually
when
you
say
said
too that his floor is T. Higgins. No, his floor is probably something far, far worse than that.
well, it just takes some big wide receiver with a huge drop problem. Did you know Quentin Wilson's drop rate is like 13%?
Yeah, well, he's a freaking body catcher. That's all over it, dude. He doesn't go out for his hands for anything.
No.
Like, that's the problem I always had. Like, people love John Ross. Like, John Ross is an example of like an elite athlete who tests super well. But you could just tell if you actually did turn on some of the film, like I occasionally do, and you see, okay, like very limited route tree, kind of catches everything in on his body, doesn't go out there for contested catches very much. But yeah, that fantasy football people who decide to take a little trip down lanes of evaluations, not the best.
Well, it's because the issue is they run into like they watch the player and they're really watching it for like fantasy upside and then like who they can pick up in their dynasty league in the last round. And so they end up with like really ultimately, I don't even get the fantasy football stuff because ultimately that's all based off of what situation they go to. Because a good player, like, I mean, again, like, for example, like Kenneth Walker this year. Kenneth Walker, yeah, he ended up being a great fantasy pick, but his situation when he was drafted kind of sucked because Rashad Penning looked good. I mean,
Seattle had a lot of question marks along the offensive line. Just an offense, the franchise in general had a lot of question marks. I mean, again, like you said, great pan out, but going into it looked really bad.
Yeah, and I bet a lot of those fantasy football guys told him not to draft Kenneth Walker.
Probably.
If I had to guess what they were probably saying beforehand, based on what they talk about,
undoubtedly,
because they were also all on the train of like everyone sell everything to get Travis Etienne.
He was really good at the end of the season.
He was, but he only scored 5 touchdowns the entire year.
Yeah, but okay, I don't want to get into fantasy football.
No, we don't have to get into it.
But driving up a tree,
but they were like taking him the first round.
No,
a lot
I
of
agree.
these guys just come up with.
No.
Hey, again, we're not a fantasy football thing. We play fantasy football. We had a pretty good. We did pretty well in fantasy across all of our leagues. We ended up winning 2. We got into the playoffs and almost all of them.
I finished third in the one that I had control of.
Yeah, but we did really well in fantasy. So maybe we'll get more into it later on. But what we're gonna do is Clark and I, we took time off. We did not cover the Super Bowl. So, Clark, why don't we just give like a quick reaction to the Super Bowl? One word reaction to the Super Bowl.
Anticlimactic.
Man, that's a great one.
I know it is.
That's a great one. The Super Bowl did not help the NFL is rigged argument at all.
Well, no, it didn't, but it's not rigged. I understand why people have that sentiment.
No, it's not rigged, but it wasn't great. But yeah, anticlimactic, that's a great way to put it. But what Clark and I are going to do instead is we're going to draft halftime performances.
Which is the halftime show. The game was great. The halftime show was better.
Yeah, the halftime show was good.
See, look, this is where we're already going to differ. Ethan, I will say Ethan was not as big a fan of the halftime show as I was. Maybe because he's not quite as musically in tune as I am. But I appreciate Queen Ree when she's freaking on stage giving her all while pregnant. First off, like that's crazy.
Yeah, but we didn't know that during the performance.
You could fucking tell immediately.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna sit there and been like, "Oh yeah, she's pregnant," because that could have. What if she was just having a hard time getting over her pregnancy weight?
She was rubbing her stomach minutes into the performance. That was
but again, I didn't want to assume anything. Wow, Clark.
That's not assuming that. Okay, really?
You're gonna get canceled for that. Yeah,
that's not what's going on.
I'm posting this on Twitter.
Fine, cancel me. That's ridiculous.
Canceled.
Canceled before anyone else.
Just kidding. No, I mean the halftime performance was good. I didn't think it was anything mind blowing.
You know what
like,
song
it wouldn't be
I
my
need?
first round pick.
There's really only one song I wish she would have played.
What's that?
If she only because it recently came up. This is going to show you how cooked my Spotify is sometimes. Shut Up and Drive. Okay. Shut Up and Drive is great. I love Shut Up and Drive.
Shut Up and Drive.
That if she would have started with that, boom. I mean, bitch.
Well,
Better
we
Have My
haven't
Money was a
said
great one.
what was your bet on first song?
I did, yeah. People, we didn't get to actually. We'll get into this, but I actually did bet her first song performed would be "Bitch Better Have My Money," and that did hit. So that was a pretty cool feeling. Like when you hear the first one, what are the first words to it? Like "Ay ow, ay ow." I was like, oh, I know what that is, man. I know what that
that
is.
was fun. Clark and I, if you were curious, we watched the Super Bowl in a pizza place in downtown Santa Monica, which was pretty fun. We had a good time. Yeah, it wasn't that big of a place, so and they had half off wings and half off pitchers, so it was a pretty good time all around.
I felt bad. Our waiter clearly was like his third day working. I felt really bad. He was a lot of people there. That guy was in hell.
He was struggling.
But I knew it wasn't a good thing. Like when he came over to our table again, he did a great job all night. Really solid kid. But he came over and he starts taking our orders, and there's like 8 of us. He just doesn't have a pen and I'm pad, and I'm like, there is just no shot. This dude is gonna come back with anything right.
And he started taking our orders and like went to a second person. He's like, wait, can I go get paper?
Which was a savvy vet move for a guy who clearly had just like third day on the job. So he got everything right. Shout out to him. He's probably
shout out to him. I don't remember his name. Shout out to Rockin' Pies. That's where we were in Santa Monica. If you're ever there,
threw down, man.
It was pretty fun.
Absolutely nuked some wings.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Their wings are pretty good. If you ever in the mood for wings and you're in Santa Monica, go ahead and try it. But what we're gonna do now is we are gonna draft halftime performances. We're probably just gonna stick to the most. Should we just do the last 10 years, or do we want to go like over our?
No, we can do all time. I was about to say I'm gonna go to some all timers. What are you talking about?
All time? I mean, I haven't seen that many.
You don't dig into the archives ever to be curious?
No, I don't go watch old halftime shows.
Okay, well,
I go watch film on John Ross, excuse me, so I can go tell my fantasy football friends who to draft.
Unnecessary.
All right, so I'll let you have the first overall pick.
No, I want you to have first pick.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if this is going to be a controversial one, but with my first overall pick, I'm going to take Lady Gaga. I thought Lady Gaga, I thought hers was fantastic. How she came in from the
that was pretty sweet.
I thought that was a really cool entrance. Yeah, the choreography was really nice throughout. It was maybe I just have fond memories of that Super Bowl because it's also the 28-3 Super Bowl, and honestly, to tell you the truth, I've never told this story on here, but that's probably the most fun I've ever had watching a Super Bowl. It was my freshman year of college. We were just watching it in my dorm room with who became my 6 friends. Shout out Toby, Ben, Chris, and Trevor. And my friend Ben is from Boston. My friend Trevor is from Atlanta. So they were watching it together. It was really fun. They were both wearing their jerseys. And Trevor got up really early because obviously they went up 28-3. And he was drinking some celebration, to say it easy. Wow. And the Lady Gaga show went halfway through during this time, and I have fond memories of it. It's maybe not the most technical best, but I have very fond memories of it. I thought it was super fun. I thought Lady Gaga was super engaging. She was at the height of her career before she had gone into all this acting stuff now, which she's killing as well. Yeah, for me, that would be my first overall pick.
All right. I think it's a fine selection. Again, fond memories get brought back all to you.
Yeah.
My first overall pick.
A lot of nostalgia there.
First overall pick. Again, unbiased, sane journalism.
Okay.
2007 halftime performance, Prince. Can't tell me that wasn't one of the best. Brought out, played Queens, We Will Rock You. It was better than the actual game between the Colts and Bears. Prince, anytime he gets on there, shout out Prince, man. He's dead now, right? Actually, yes, he is dead.
Yes, he is. You remember, speaking of another halftime show, Justin Timberlake did that weird tribute to him in Minnesota.
Yeah, no, I thought, that wasn't very good though. That was actually shit. But no, but
I don't think that
fantastic
one will
in 2007. Loved him again. Better than the actual game played between the Colts and Bears. Got to be Prince, number one. Again, Prince also, again, for some reason holds fond memory in my heart. This is not fond at all, but I remember the day that he did in fact pass away. I was sitting in line to take my my driver's license test, and I was in the car with my mom, and my mom just decided to annoy me just to sing along to every single song they were playing on the radio. Oh, like looking back on it now, hilarious. But high school me was like, can we not do this? So yeah, great times. Prince, number one, no questions asked.
All right, that's a good one. All right, who I'm going number 2 is I'm going to go with Beyonce.
Oh,
Uh,
2013?
yeah, 2013 with Destiny's Child.
Yes. Bastard.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Beyonce. Beyonce absolutely killed it back in 2013. Again, another iconic Super Bowl. Yeah, it was just really good. She brought out Destiny's Child. She probably destroyed what people think of guest performances. She brought out her Legacy act, brought back nostalgia for all fans, for young people like us who are used to all the new Beyonce stuff, to all of those back. It was really the first time me singing Single Ladies live. So that was kind of cool. I'd only seen the music video where she goes like this.
That was pretty good, right?
So yeah, it was that was pretty good.
Whoa.
Yeah, whoa. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Beyonce. Great halftime show. Again, it's Beyonce. There's not much to say. She absolutely killed it.
No, Beyonce queen. So we stand Beyonce at all times. My number 2 pick, maybe a recent one, 2020, right before the pandemic outbreak. J-Lo and Shakira killed it on stage. Great performance, electricity all throughout the air. And then an iconic moment when the camera went by Shakira and she just looked in the camera. That freaking was, first off, ingenious by Shakira to go ahead and rip that one out. And then just funny too. I mean, again, electric performance. Those are 2 all-time, performers, one another with J-Lo and Shakira. Loved it all around. Great time again. And for me, that was a fond memory because San Francisco was in the Super Bowl, going to the school in the Bay Area. I had a bunch of San Francisco fans, and they all really, much like Trevor, were like, this game's over after they were up by like 10. And then watching it all unravel and them get very sad and then bicker among one another as to whose fault it actually was. That was great.
Yeah. So where I'm going with my 3rd overall pick is I'm going to take us back to last year.
Wow.
I'm going to do Dr.
Really
Dre's and
one.
Snoop Dogg's. From a set design perspective, I think it's one of the best sets we've got at the Super Bowl. I thought the house party gimmick of it was really fun. A lot of fun. I mean, this Super Bowl halftime show was just packed like a light. I mean, we had Anderson .Paak up there just playing the drums.
Yeah, that was great. Anderson .Paak, who I love,
just smashing the drums.
Just on the drums was awesome. No, that was a very good one.
Just jamming out to Eminem, Lose Yourself. It's something a lot of rap fans thought they would. I mean, they thought they would see, but I don't think they saw it so realized of Eminem, Dr. Dre. We had Snoop.
No, it was
50 Cent.
No,
I mean, it was just great all around.
No, it was really good.
It was a lot of fun.
Like you said, the set design was really good, and I think the number of LA artists that they brought back for a Super Bowl, obviously in the LA area, was a really cool thing to do too.
Yeah, I mean, also very city relevant.
Yes.
I mean, obviously SoFi is in Inglewood, which is around where all those guys from. One person I forgot who performed was Mary J. Blige. Another performer, often forgotten, because she's probably the smallest name out of the 5 that all did their songs. But again, it was a great Super Bowl halftime show. Also shares memories because that's the first time I've ever watched a Super Bowl like actually rooting for someone because I was hoping the Bengals would win. So it made the Super Bowl a little bit more special. But I mean, it sucks the result of that game. But again, great halftime show.
Yeah, I was like sick as a dog, running like a 103 fever. Like
we were originally going to watch it together.
We were going to watch together, but then I almost like died. So
he was sick.
That was so shitty. So even like when they lost that game, I was like, oh, that sucks. So
I guess it took away the sting a little bit.
Probably, yes. So, did take.
All right. So where are you going with your 3rd pick?
A shocker for some, but I stand by. This year's performance from Rihanna. Fantastic. I will take Rihanna's performance this year. Look, I cannot remember someone who sounded better vocally than Rihanna did all night. Again, did it while she was pregnant. Fucking queen shit out the fucking wazoo right there. That was sweet. I thought the platforms going up and down was a lot of fun.
That was cool.
The dancers were cool. An internet worthy moment where she was just staring down the camera, and obviously that made its way around Twitter. And again, she performed. I think that was, first off, all-time shit. Not to bring someone out, you're just so freaking loaded with hits that you don't need to invite anyone. Dope. And second off, she reminded everyone of how many hits she just has. Like, it was just banger after banger. People often forget, but Rihanna's chock full with them. So number 3, I've been listening to a lot of Rihanna since then. Been loading it up on Spotify. Don't forget her, man. Great performance.
One thing I want to add on about Rihanna before we go is one thing that I think will make this halftime show people were going in is I think people went in with really, really high expectations because she hasn't come out with music in 6 years. She really hasn't performed live in forever. That people thought she'd come out and this would be the best halftime show ever. Like that's what people just assumed. And I think she came out job. I just think everyone's expectations were really high, so it felt underwhelming. And everyone was like, "Oh, I want to see a guest." But at the end, like she has so many songs. Why did she need a guest?
Like, not at all.
She didn't need a guest. Like if Jay-Z comes out, like it wouldn't really change my opinion on anything. And a lot of people are saying that. And to me, if you just wanted a guest, that means you just don't like Rihanna. And that's
she didn't need a guest at all. I mean, like who's she gonna bring out?
And also the thing is we talk about our list right now. Almost all of these people didn't bring guests, or they only had one, and it wasn't that exciting. I mean, I don't know.
She had her child in her
for sure.
That was her guest.
My number 4 pick. I guess I'm just gonna continue on with these female pop stars. Katy Perry for one sole reason.
God damn you.
Left Shark.
That was about to say.
Oh no.
Of course you're gonna go Left Shark. I was thinking.
Can you hear me?
Katy Perry was great, dude.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with Left Shark herself, Katy Perry. I thought Katy Perry's performance was so fun. I mean, her one costume change in like 30 seconds or whatever is still insane. She did her set design again was incredible. She did a ton of fun stuff. She's another person who reminded the world how many hits she had. Especially the album Teenage Dream. That was our middle school for us. So maybe we have a little bit more nostalgia for some of these female pop stars.
She also brought up Missy
like
Elliott, which was sweet. She brought up Missy Elliott.
She did bring out Missy Elliott. It was just a ton of fun. Yeah, I really liked Katy Perry. And of course, Left Shark blew up the internet.
Left Shark did. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to go through them. We were kind of like ones I
just take the Black Eyed Peas.
No, I'm not. That one was very bad.
We'll do one. We'll talk about some bad ones once we're finished. I have a couple that I want to talk about as I was looking through.
I guess just because it's so memorable for so many people. Yeah. Michael Jackson in '93.
Okay. Yeah, it's like the first big one.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the more, notable ones of all of them. I'm sure if you actually went on a list, you'd probably find that at one of the tops. But again, Michael Jackson, whether you think about him or not, people made some great music. So, and obviously it was a big thing back in '93 for him to come out there. So I would say I'll take Michael Jackson, I guess, is one of the more remarkable performances.
Yeah. I feel like as we're getting down the list, we're getting more to the ones that we're just kind of mid about. Like, I'm going to take Bruno Mars here. Just because I like Bruno Mars.
He had the Red Hot Chili Peppers, right?
Yeah, and he had Beyonce again. Beyonce came out.
You can bring Beyonce. Well. Bring Beyonce. That's all.
Yeah, he brought Beyonce after she had performed the year before, and I thought he brought Coldplay out. Was it the Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No, Coldplay brought out Beyonce.
Am I getting all confused? Did Bruno Mars come out during Coldplay?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me look it up.
What year did they perform 20 Karat Magic? Oh, no, not 20 Karat. Uptown Funk. What year did they perform Uptown Funk?
Okay, so Bruno Mars did have his own in 2014. But
but when he didn't do Uptown Funk that year?
No, he didn't. That was Coldplay.
Oh, then the Coldplay one. That's the one I want.
Because Coldplay was they were in the new Levi Stadium in San Francisco.
Oh, that's the one I want. The one with Beyonce and Bruno Mars and Coldplay.
Which
that's
Coldplay,
the one
who
I
actually
want.
was playing it, became the least known thing about it, which sounds about right for Coldplay.
Yeah, I mean, Bruno came out and did Uptown Funk, which was the biggest song of the year. Beyonce came out and did Beyonce things. And I guess Coldplay was their halftime show. I thought it was Bruno Mars's.
No, Coldplay.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's my 5th pick, I guess. I'll take that one.
Okay. Well, I guess if it's my last pick, I'll go back to another recent one that I actually did like because I'm a big fan of them. The Weekends was fun. I like The Weekends.
Yeah.
Again, another internet moment where you got the gif of him like going all around and the lights and everything. That was, I think, again, I like the Weeknd's music a lot. We were watching it together.
That was during COVID.
That was during COVID.
The COVID game.
So you had Kelly there the whole time wearing a Brady jersey, even though he's in Tampa Bay. So whatever the hell that was. But yeah, man, I'll say the Weeknd again. I'm a big fan of the Weeknd's music. He played a lot of good songs. Blinded by the Lights, that was really good. Blinding Lights. I'm sorry, fuck. I'm a real fan.
Yeah, can't lose my face. Yeah, that's a good one. So let's talk about some bad halftime performances. What do you think is? He just said, which I alluded to earlier.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. So Black Eyed Peas is definitely the worst one I've seen in a long time. I believe they brought out Usher for that.
I don't know if they brought out Usher. I just remember the weird like laser tag looking suits that they wore that lit up like laser tag vests.
Well, I feel like it's an unfortunate thing for a lot of the members of the Black Eyed Peas because not only was that bad, but then I guess it was they're not broken up, but then Fergie did like the NBA national anthem for the All-Star game. So a lot of times anytime someone from that group is branched out, it's gone horribly. So maybe it's just time to say no to some of those bigger events for the Black Eyed Peas, Fergie, Will.i.am, Apple the App.
Well, did you know this is pop culture, but did you know they kicked out Fergie and now it's some new lady?
They did?
Yeah, some new lady is the lead of Black Eyed Peas with Will.i.am, Apple the App.
First off, good for Fergie because she has more hits than the Black Eyed Peas probably do with Fergalicious, My Humps, London Bridge.
My Humps is Black Eyed Peas.
Fuck, never mind. Fine, but she
carries on. She is Fergalicious. Here, let me ask Kelly.
Fabulous. Wait, what's Fabulous? Is that like First Class up in the sky? She got that one.
What's the First Class one? Glamorous.
There it is. And then London Bridge. That's a great one.
London Bridge. How does
that might be her? In my opinion, London Bridge might be her best work.
How does London Bridge go?
It starts off with "Oh shit."
Oh, Kelly's singing it in the other room. Clark is also singing it, Kelly.
I don't want to sing because I don't have any vocal skills, but
my London
Bridge, wanna go down like London, wanna go down like London, London, wanna go down.
So Kelly has been saying from the other room this whole time that we are wrong, and it is Maroon 5 because Adam Levine just started stripping.
Okay, that one's a really bad one. Adam Levine, when he just started stripping, which actually after the whole Instagram incident where he just DM'd all these people, that makes really bad. But that was a really bad one. That one I was like, what is going on here, Adam Levine and Maroon 5? Seek some help. I mean, that was brutal.
Travis Scott, where they tried to do the SpongeBob thing.
Travis Scott had some.
Remember
when?
Yeah, he came out and did Sicko Mode, and then they went into the SpongeBob.
Wait, when did this
the marching band happen?
No,
it's in the Maroon 5 one. Yeah, you don't remember this?
No, Travis Scott came. He did not. Travis Scott would not have had Sicko Mode.
He did Sicko Mode.
Fuck,
yeah,
dude.
He did Sicko Mode. He came out.
I would have remembered that. That would have been. Oh no!
It was during the Maroon 5 one because they did the SpongeBob thing.
Really? Why did he bring? He didn't even have a song with Travis Scott.
No, it's because they brought him out because Sicko Mode was like the biggest song of the year, and so he came out and did Sicko Mode, and they did the SpongeBob champion song. I don't remember what it's called, but it's the marching band one.
Oh,
where they're in the bubble
episode.
Yes.
Okay. I didn't realize that Travis Scott was performing at that and did Sicko Mode.
He was the one after they did the SpongeBob thing. That's when Travis Scott came out and did Sicko Mode.
Fuck you. Don't remember. That's so bad. I don't remember that.
For this?
No, I have no recollection.
With Adam Levine right here. See, there they are together.
That was in 2019?
I guess.
That was the Patriots and Rams Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Oh my God. I don't know how I don't remember that.
Fuck. Yeah. And Big Boy came out from he's the other guy in Outkast in Atlanta. Yeah, because Travis Scott came out for Atlanta.
Travis Scott's from Houston though.
That's what it was. Oh, He did come out and do sicko mode though.
Okay, I'm getting so tired of saying the word sicko mode. That's just so hard to come out of my mouth and say.
That he came out for sicko mode.
I wonder if Travis Scott knows that song just gets made fun of for now. Like anyone's like,
Well,
oh,
I mean,
please play sicko mode. No one actually means it.
I mean, the issue with, Travis Scott's issues are now a lot deeper than people just making him fun of him about sicko mode after his little festival incident.
Okay, that's not funny.
No, it's not funny. It's not funny. Sorry to those affected by Astro World Festival, but
Which he definitely
there
should be
is
charged
something
with insinuating a riot.
for sure. But there is something funny to that. Clark completely forgot.
I
that
had no
Travis Scott,
recollection of Travis Scott coming out and performing sicko mode. At that point, if they're going to do that, they should just had Sheck West come out and perform Mo Bamba.
But just do. I mean, they had the SpongeBob meme thing too, so it could have just been a huge joke. And then they had Adam Levine taking off his shirt.
I really actually have like no recollection of that halftime show.
It sounds like you need to go back to the archives
I
and watch
don't
the
think
game.
I'm going to watch Travis Scott come out and sing auto-tune sicko mode. That's, oh, God. Then he wore like the Roach suit like a year later. The Batman suit that he had custom made.
Oh, my God.
And then there was a whole Travis Scott documentary too.
There's so many bad things for Travis Scott right now. But before we go, who would you like to perform at the halftime show next year?
Oh my God.
Who would be your first pick?
Sean Kingston.
Sean Kingston. Make sure the place is fire burning.
He only can perform Fire Burning and Eeny Meeny Miny Mo Lover. Those are the only two songs he's allowed to.
Can the Biebs come out for it, or does it have to be just
Justin
Kingston?
Bieber can be. Although it's funny, if you look up that song, there's no Justin Bieber feature anymore. I don't know if there's a contract dispute between the two of them, but no.
On Eeny Meeny?
Sean Kingston can come out and perform Fire Burning, Eeny Meeny. What's another song of his?
Beautiful Girls.
He can perform Beautiful Girls.
Yeah, you know who else needs to come out with him though? Ayez, who did Replay.
Sing Replay?
Yeah.
Solo and Replay is the only song she's allowed to sing.
And then
that song was spammed on radio like 100 times a day anywhere I went.
They could also get like Tayo Cruz to come out as well.
Tayo Cruz, two absolute bangers of Break Your Heart and Dynamite. I thought he had like one more too.
I remember thinking Tayo Cruz was the coolest guy because this is a total San Diego thing. So if you're a San Diegan, maybe you'll remember this. Is on the radio on 933. Somehow they edited in. He would say 933 in the song Break Your Heart. I used to think that was like the coolest thing in the world, that he was shouting out San Diego.
Which I later learned they probably do that for every radio station in America if he's paid enough.
Yes. But it felt really cool at the time.
It did. You were like, damn, dude, Tayo Cruz just shouted out 933.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was sick. I mean, a lot of kids, I wasn't cool enough to go, but a lot of people went to the 933 summer
kickoff concert used to be the place to be in mid-May in San Diego at the Sleep Train Amphitheater.
Yes.
Where first kisses were had, hands were held. I remember the most iconic 933 concert that I can remember is when Wiz Khalifa was supposed to be the headliner, and he got arrested for having like 15 pounds of marijuana on him. And everyone's like, oh no, Wiz isn't going to be there for the 933 summer kickoff concert. Like, what are we going to do? And then like he made bail and he was like, I'm still fucking coming. And everyone was like, oh, let's go up concert. Man, let's go crazy.
Black and Yellow.
Well, yeah, you just come out and sing Black and Yellow, We Them Boys. Like, you know, what was that one song with Snoop Dogg? Young, Wild and Free. They just do that.
With Bruno. So is Sean Kingston really who you'd want? Or who's your real pick?
Funny, because everyone would be like, what the fuck is Sean Kingston doing here? Sean Kingston, who I believe... I'm pretty sure Sean Kingston got so famous, he had a cameo on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody on Deck.
He did. He went on Sweet Life on Deck.
Yeah, so that's sweet. So Sean Kingston would be a hot number one. No, maybe Hot Chill Ray. Get Hot Chill Ray out there.
Hot Shell Ray and come out and perform tonight.
Get Hot Chill. No, it's Sean Kingston.
Do you remember when they performed at the Pro Bowl a couple years ago?
Yes, they did. Hot Chill Ray has like 2 songs. They have "I Like It Like That" and what's the other one? Tonight. That was Hot Chill Ray's biggest accomplishments. Give me Hot Chill Ray, Sean Kingston, Justin Bieber, Only for Eeny Meeny Miny, or Eeny Meeny Lover. I don't know how the hell you say the song.
No, and then Jaden Smith could come out for Never Say Never with Justin Bieber
from the Karate Kid.
Yeah. Jackie Chan could come out there and be like his mentor as Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, then we need Ludacris too, just if we're gonna throw everyone in there.
And sing Get Back.
Oh, that would go so hard.
And then Tom Cruise could come out from Tropic Thunder.
Yes, that would actually be hilarious. No, but I mean,
that would be.
I'll actually say it. If there's a petition out there, Sean Kingston for the halftime show.
So I will say, Kelly wants me to say Harry Styles would be her pick for next year.
That's so that'd be great because Harry Styles, to his credit, fucking throws down music. He's got some great shit. I'm not gonna deny.
Yeah, he's doing really well right now.
Also, Watermelon Sugar is still the best thing. I mean, I know it's so mainstream. That song, shout out you, dude, for writing that. No, Harry Styles, phenomenal. But
he's kind of who I feel it's. But the thing is, I think about Harry. Possibly a One Direction thing, which if they actually got One Direction to perform, then that would absolutely blow up the internet.
They hate each other now, I think.
No, I think they're fine with each other.
I thought Zayn.
Harry says
I thought Zayn.
Zayn doesn't like the other 4, but the other 4.
Can you really have One Direction if you can't get Zayn in?
Wait, what? Kelly is telling me gossip.
Kelly knows more about One Direction than me.
Oh, apparently Zayn thanked all the members. Oh, not Harry thanked all the members of One Direction, including Zayn. Yeah. Including Zayn.
Mending fences.
Oh, mending fences to be next year's
Yeah,
Super
I mean,
Bowl
Harry Styles would be good, but again, he's not Sean Kingston, so I don't want to see him.
I have another one that I kind of have a gut feeling it might be.
Let me guess. Weezer.
Yeah, it's Weezer. That is who I was thinking.
Or Nickelback.
Nickelback would be great.
That would be good. That'd be good.
That would blow.
By good, I mean shit, but it'd be good.
No,
but who's the one you actually think?
Oh, the actual one that I kind of think J Balvin might pick.
Oh, with Bad Bunny and J Balvin came out, that'd be good.
Yeah, Bad Bunny and J Balvin.
I could see it.
I think that would kind of make sense if they wanted to go because they went for the J-Lo Shakira thing, which they both came out for. I think it would kind of make sense to give them their own. I mean, Bad Bunny's the biggest recording artist.
Bad Bunny. I'd be a fan. I'd definitely be a fan of Bad Bunny coming out there, putting some more. What?
Who's the largest female star? Well, the person we can't deny who's the largest female star that we have not said yet is Taylor Swift.
I just don't think Taylor's like I mean, I shouldn't say that. She's got some great hits. No, Taylor's great.
She could do it.
I just feel like the Super Bowl might be below Taylor. She doesn't need to do the Super Bowl.
Yeah, she's like too famous.
That's not. But then Rihanna's too famous for the Super Bowl too. I don't know. Taylor Swift.
But the thing is, she hasn't performed in so long, so it kind of makes sense to re-enter her into the mind of everyone. Taylor just sold out an entire tour in 15 minutes of all stadiums.
I guess I don't know. Taylor Swift, I'd be all for, but I feel like she had that huge 22 tour. I'm sure she still goes on tour now. I haven't really kept up with T Swift too much.
Well, Eras, that's the big one. The Eras tour is the one that blew the doors off of everything. She would be probably. I gotta assume. I wonder if they're doing gambling favorites for next year's
probably
show. I bet you could bet on that. You could probably bet on that.
My Sean Kingston bet probably wouldn't do well.
No.
Yeah.
Sean Kingston. Your way to Jason Derulo.
He is not going to be doing anytime soon. Anytime soon.
He could do some TikTok dances.
Jason Derulo has just gone straight to TikTok. That's all I got now, man.
I mean, yeah. Wait, let's look at. Is there anything else you want to talk about before?
Not that I can think off the top of my head. I've got my Sean Kingston and Hot Chill Ray propaganda out there, and I got to rant about the Padres being better than everyone now. So I'm satisfied.
Okay, so do you want to know the 2023 Super Bowl halftime show prop?
Please tell.
Oh wait, that would be this year.
Let's say. No, we'll
wait, I gotta
figure it
look
out
at
next time for
2020.
next time show.
Yeah, we'll let you know next time. Tune in next time if you want to hear what it is. I'm Ethan. I'm the host of From the Backseat, and I am joined again by my co-host. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong side. My co-host
Looking the
Clark
wrong way.
over here.
Clark here. Thanks for listening along, folks. Hope you enjoyed the conversation tonight. Can't wait for next week.
So just so you guys know, if you want to get some betting advice, Clark's going to start doing some betting advice for us.
Oh, yeah.
Clark did not help me on my Super Bowl bet. I lost. Thanks, Clark.
I won. You could have listened.
but
you didn't.
I lost. You didn't tell me to trail you. You had me be a sheep, do my own thing.
Yeah. Well, I told you.
I liked my bet a lot. It just didn't hit. So this has been From the Backseat. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube if that's where you're watching. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to contact us wherever we are. We're going to start to become more around now that we're in the off season. Clark and I both have full-time jobs working it all out. Yeah. But I hope you enjoyed the episode. We'll find new stuff to talk about next time. Have a great rest of your night, everyone.